It's mine. My own. My precious.
Hello, my fellow dwellers of Sanctuary. We've had some really, I'm going to call it both exciting and really disheartening news / confirmations when it comes to the 6, we now know it to be 6, rarest items in the entire game. The 6 uniques that, if data mines are to be believed, are 800,000 times rarer than the regular uniques you've probably been getting. So what exactly has happened? Well, let's get straight into it, and then we'll talk about how I feel about it, and I imagine you guys will feel very similarly. Hey, Mr. Adam Jackson, the lead class designer for Diablo 4, has said the following. Hello, I wanted to clear up some details on the rarest unique items in Diablo 4. Those rare unique items being Doombringer the Grandfather, Ring of Starless Skies, Andariel's Visage, Harlequin's Crest, and Melted Heart of Selig. You can only get them from enemies that are level 85 or higher. So either get to level 85 yourself, so everything is at least level 85, or push nightmare dungeons to the point where the enemies are level 85 or above. They can drop anywhere a regular unique can, and they will always be 820 item power. That's nice at least, so you can't get a particularly weak one, and there is currently 6 of them in game. Now, I have a feeling here he means that there is 6 ultra rare uniques, not that literally only 6 of them have dropped, because that would be absolutely insane. We know of at least 2 Harlequins that have dropped so far, though when it comes to the other 5, I've seen very little public, here, I got this, look everybody, about them, so maybe literally 6 have only dropped. He does say, of course, that they are really rare. So the implication here is that these 6 uniques are so utterly hard to get. Not only do you have to start facing level 85 enemies, which probably means you are approaching level 85, the drop chance is so low that with millions of players playing for untold amounts of hours, yes, not all of them will be 85 plus, but still, the sheer volume of loot that has hit the ground that could be one of these uniques and has not been, does really start to give credence to the potential that they are 800,000 times rarer than your regular uniques. That is unbelievably ridiculous. I mean, it's nice to know, it's nice to have these confirmations, but still, it is unbelievably ridiculous. And honestly, I think it's a bit much. It really is more disheartening than anything else. Yes, if you get one of them, you will feel over the moon. Though then again, if you get a low roll, knowing how rare it was to drop in the first place, that might be a bigger kick in the teeth than just never seeing one. And never seeing one is the likely fate unless they change the drop rates of every single Diablo player. Every season, most people, 99% of players, are just not going to get one of these 6 uniques. Which obviously is a shame. They are very powerful, exciting items, but it means you're just not going to get to experiment with them, to have fun with them, to actually see how their effects work in practice. Fortunately, none of them are inherently build enablers. They're all, I guess you could categorize them as luxury items that just give you that bit extra to just really push your build over the edge, even though it was already doing plenty well, and some of them already clash with classes that need their own class-specific uniques in a certain slot. Like the Holy Grail Harlequin Crest, if you're a Druid, you're probably still going to be wanting to use one of your class unique helmets because they are just the build enablers. That said though, it's hard to pass up getting plus +4 to all your skills. That is a powerful enough effect that you could almost just not have anything else on the bit of gear, and you'd still probably want to use it. The fact that you do get some really solid bonus perks, like just the flat permanent damage reduction, is really the icing on the cake. Like, imagine this for Arclash Sorcerer. +4 to every shock skill, you're casting all of them with unstable currents. Oh, I want to experience it. And that right there is the issue. I will probably never get to experience it unless they change drop rates. And that's really sad. And I would love to know your thoughts and your take here. Do you see this information, this finally confirmation on how these super rare uniques work, when you can get them, just how rare they are and how they drop? Does that make you want to rush to level 85 and start power farming in the hopes? Or does it make you feel sort of, well, it's pointless ever trying for these, I'm just going to play, if one drops one day, cool, if it doesn't, it doesn't, that's a shame. But maybe that's the intention by Blizzard here. Maybe they don't want people farming these items, they're supposed to be just a super unlikely out-of-nowhere treat that you can now use and do something crazy and powerful and fun with, and the rest of the time you do have to essentially pretend and play as if they don't exist. And I can see an almost merit to that ethos, but I think there is a limit, and I definitely think there is going too far. You don't want everyone running around with all of these. You want them to be special, of course, but you don't want them to be so rare that a single player getting one of them to drop is newsworthy across the entire Diablo 4 community, like the couple Harlequin Crests that have dropped are. But even beyond that, I personally really want the Melted Heart of Selig. I think it is a super cool designed item, and I love the idea of trading resource for damage mitigation. There's a couple build ideas that I have that need this to function, and again, I will likely probably never be able to actually make that happen. Even Andariel's Visage, that 2% lifesteal, seems nutty, right? We're doing millions of damage towards the ultra endgame, so healing for just 2% of that is still... I don't know how this doesn't make you immortal when it finally happens. It just seems that good. And even then, if anyone can make use of that Poison Nova Dot, it's a potent way to essentially permanently have it up, because that's a fairly high lucky hit chance for it to happen, especially as most people do build a good amount of lucky hits. So ultimately, it's nice to have this information, and it's also kind of not nice to have this information because the mystery has been shattered, the bubble has been popped, and we now have hard, cold truth on just how unlikely you are to get any of these 6 items. So if any of these 6 is something you're looking forward to, something you need for a build idea, something that you really want to experiment with, or something you think is going to be your favorite item, well, yeah, maybe don't waste hundreds and hundreds of hours farming for it, because that won't be a drop in the ocean of time that it will take an average person to get one of these. But I do want to round this out by saying that I do sympathize with the situation that these items put Blizzard in. If you make them too common, they stop being special, everybody gets this huge power bump, and then you have to balance the game allowing for everyone destroying everything with them. But if you make them too rare, it's disheartening, and everyone feels like, what's the point? I really wanted to use these cool uniques, and I'm just never going to get them, so this sucks. I mean, why would you do this? So where is that right balance point? Where is that moment? Where is the dial to be set to make them feel attainable but not, well, devalue them by making them too attainable? So in that sense, I really do get it. But I think bottom line, hell, you know, make them 10-20% more common. That probably wouldn't make a huge difference now, would it? But it at least would give back a tiny bit of hope and maybe make them worth hard farming for. In any case, let me know your thoughts on this revelation, which one you would ideally like to drop and what you have in mind for it. And until next time, like you've enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon. Patreon down below. And until we meet again, goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.